Hello, hello, and welcome, my friends, to the next workshop in the Create Your Business program. For those of you who are with me live today, thank you so much for joining me and spending this time with me. And for those of you, the most of you, who I know end up watching the replay, thank you again for being a part of this community and for taking the time to learn more about what we are going to go through today. So I have a huge presentation to go through. So for those of you who are here live, feel free to ask any questions that you have down in the chat below. And for those of you on the replay, you can always direct message me, or you can put a message in the comments because the replay will be up on my YouTube channel. So let's get into this and let's get started. I have been spending so much time going through sales funnels and talking about sales funnels with people and talking about the customer journey, buyer's journey, and all of this stuff. So I am super excited to finally share this with everybody, all the research that I've been doing and all the conversations that I've been having, because I truly believe that this is one of those things that we all should be focusing on with our business, because it's just more than just, trying to make sales. It's got to be more to our businesses than that. So today we're going to be talking about how to create content for your sales funnel. I'm going to talk about how content fits into your sales funnel, and I'm going to get real specific to the types of content to use. So I'm not just going to talk about the sales funnel and go, oh, put some content here. I'm going to get real specific about the types of content that you can create. And I also want to move you through this and explain to you how this sales funnel is directly connected to the customer buyer's journey. And then, of course, as always, I'm going to share your next step. So just to introduce myself, for those of you who have not met me, or this is maybe your first time you've stumbled across me, or maybe you're on my YouTube channel and you haven't had a chance to really get to know me. Since 2010, I have taught over 125 social media workshops at the National Entrepreneur Center in Orlando. So yes, I'm in the Central Florida area. I've worked with hundreds of small business owners. I am currently the owner of 2 businesses. I have a content marketing consulting business, which I've had for about 24 years. And then there's the Create Your Business program, which I started in 2018. So if you are looking for the replay of this, or looking for any other replay of this, other workshops that I have done, go to the Create Your Business link right there on YouTube, and you will find all of the workshop replays. As a matter of fact, there's a playlist that says workshops. So you don't have to scroll around and look at all of my content. You can go straight to the playlist and find all of the workshop replays, and you will be able to find this one here as well. So let's just jump right into this. I want to just dig into exactly what is a sales funnel. Now, I know we've all seen this picture before. And we've all heard about this. We've all, probably had, read posts about this, seen videos about this, but I want to dig into exactly the point of the sales funnel and why it's so important for your business. A full-on description of the sales funnel is a step-by-step process that allows you to bring your potential customer one step closer to your offer and a buying decision through a series of marketing actions like automated emails, videos, articles, landing pages, and all of these things combined actually create an automatic selling tool for you that's going to help you sell. So if that doesn't interest you, and I don't know what else is that's going to help you with your business, I gotta be honest with you. And I get it, because for most of us, selling is super hard. And maybe you get a sale here and there, but those people who are generating regular revenue, it is super tough, because a successful business isn't just a business that makes sales here and there. They make sales consistently, and their marketing strategy is focused around the setup of this sales funnel, which is what we're talking about today, which is, again, why I truly believe this is so important. Because when it comes to growing your business, I believe you've got 2 options. Number one, you can rely on the hope strategy. And what I mean by the hope strategy, it means you're waiting around for referrals and word of mouth. You're going to networking events or going into Facebook groups, And like you're basically talking to random people with the hope that you're going to meet some potential customer. Um, and this happens, and I'm not going to deny that a networking event or a Facebook group does not introduce you to somebody who's a potential customer. And I'm not going to say that it never happens, because it does, and I've personally experienced it. But I've also experienced what it feels like to have a sales funnel and not to just hope that business is going to come my way. So the other option that you have is actually taking the time to build this system. And this system that you're going to put into place is going to help you attract the right leads and turn them into paying customers. Because when you look at your sales funnel, when you think about your target, when you figure out how you're going to reach them, and you have a plan in place for finding leads and turning them into paying customers, this is the better option for you to grow your business. I mean, I love hope and all that. Don't get me wrong, but hope is not going to pay your bills. Just being honest here. And when we think about sales funnels, sometimes I think that people think that sales funnels are like this really, entrenched, massive process. And it's just so hard for me to figure out. I don't know what to do. It's really not. And quite honestly, if you think about it, there are sales funnels everywhere around you. If you think about it from this perspective, when you run a search for something online and then that company's info follows you online, that's a sales funnel. If you think about what happens when you download something from somebody's website and you watch this email sequence that comes into your inbox, that's a sales funnel. So if you're sitting here thinking that, oh, sales funnels are so hard and I can't do this, and it's got to be these really high-end companies that are going to charge you thousands and thousands of dollars, and I'm not going to mention any particular company names, but you probably have heard some of them that want to charge you all of these steps and all of this and create this and create this and create this and create this. And as a matter of fact, I met with a client last week in particular who had worked with one of these sales funnel companies. She spent an enormous amount of money and got 0 leads from it. 0. She did everything they told her to do. She created this. She wrote this copy. She gave them this images. She put the whole thing together. She even ran Facebook ads with them and got 0 leads. So let me just tell you that when it comes to sales funnels and using them correct way, I think we are in a better space as business owners to do it the way that I'm going to walk you through, rather than just trying to do some really, entrenched. And I keep going back to this because, I mean, my mind was just blown. We actually met in person, and I got to see on her computer, because she pulled it up, all of the stuff that she had written, all of the workbooks that she had done, all of the copy that she had developed. And it just blew my mind that all of this stuff together still didn't make her any sales. So when we think about a sales funnel from that perspective, the sales funnel is here to turn these prospects into paying customers, but it's also going to help you get repeat business by selling more products and services to some of your existing customers as well. So when we think about that sales funnel, it's not just about getting them in the door, it's about keeping them there and keeping them loyal to you and being a part of your community. So let's break down this sales funnel stuff. So there's the top of the funnel, that big red area right there, is directly connected to the awareness stage of the buyer's journal. The people at the top of the funnel most likely are not ready to buy, but they're looking for information to solve their problem. And so when we move them through this funnel, we will get them closer to the idea where they are getting ready to buy. But we want to think about that top part of the funnel is we're talking about challenges. We're sharing information that's going to help them move towards their solution. We want them to become aware that our business is an option for them as they are looking for their solution. Because this point of the top of the funnel is about getting visitors to get to your website. It's about them to download a free resource so they can get on your email list. It's about getting them to read blog posts, follow you on social media, learn more about your business. This is what this is about. This is not the space for a hard sell. This is the place where we are just trying to get them. We're drawing go back this way. We are drawing a broad net of trying to get the people into the funnel. And so that's why we want to make sure that this top of the funnel content is much more geared towards their solution and their challenges versus us trying to sell to them. Then we move into the middle of the middle funnel, which is really the yellow part in this picture right here. And that's connected to the consideration stage of the buyer journey. Because once we get somebody to download that email, excuse me, that download that free ebook or whatever it is that you're doing with your lead magnet or your content upgrade or whatever the word is that you're going to use, then they move into the middle of the funnel. And this is when somebody who's also now engaging with your social media post, they have moved into consideration. They now have become aware of your business. They now become aware of the fact that your business is most likely a solution to their problem, to their challenge, or whatever they're dealing with. And they are going into consideration stage, this middle of the funnel part. And this is a really important piece. And I think that sometimes people are more concerned with that top of the funnel and then the bottom of the funnel trying to make sales. But I really feel like that middle of the funnel area is super important because we can cast a wide net to a lot of people and get them into the awareness part, get them to read our blog posts, get them on our email list, all those things that we're going to do with the awareness part. But when we start to get in consideration and we start to narrow it, we start to look at who's qualified, who's a qualified customer for us. And when we know that they're qualified, we begin to nurture them. And we find out there's ways that we can move them through this funnel to get them to reach the bottom of it so that they are ready to buy. And this is the stage where we want them to consider our business as an option. We want to build this relationship with them, creating trust and position our business as the authority, as the one that they feel comfortable buying from. And this is that space where we talk about the benefits of our products, not just its features. Our features are specific things about our business, like when we started, the actual product specs of something like that. But the benefits of our products, our benefits of our services basically answers the questions, what's in it for me, for my customers? What's in it for me? How am I going to save time? Am I going to save money? Are you going to help me through this process so I don't have to DIY it, even though I think I might want to do it during that consideration phase? They can very clearly, maybe they've gone through your free ebook and they realize, I really need this, but I don't want to do this myself. And so now they're looking to you as the authority saying, I got this ebook from you. You're the one that's telling me how to do this. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to consider hiring you to do this, or I'm going to consider buying this product from you so I can do this. And so that's why it's a super important area, that middle of the funnel. It's about, and I want to bring this into this conversation because this keeps coming up for me in conversations that I'm having with my clients about a belief system. And this pops up in that middle of the funnel, that consideration stage. And I mean a belief system. I'm not referring to any religious type of things. What I'm referring to is a belief system. It's a bias that people have regarding a product or service. And this part here, the middle of the funnel, is the part where we can actually start to address some of their beliefs and how we can maybe change that. And I want to give you an example here because you may not have heard this expression before with a belief system with regards to buying. So let's say a person wants to eat healthy and they try out like a frozen vegan meal from their local grocery store. And then they have like a totally bad experience of it because maybe the freezing process makes it taste funny and it tastes strange. And anytime you freeze something like that and you put, any kind of chemicals in it, to keep it frozen or whatever, it's going to add to the taste of it. So somebody's going to go into going, see, I tried vegan food. It totally sucks. I don't want to do it anymore. So here you are now selling vegan food, and you've already got somebody who's got this belief system that I tried it. It sucked. I didn't like it. So in this middle funnel area, if we're going to try to convince the person that vegan meals are really tasty, we have to install a new belief system in their mindset. We can have content that's it can explain to them about, maybe we don't talk about vegan. We talk about eating healthy. And we also say that frozen meals aren't the way to go because of all the chemicals that are involved in it. And it can be really, like I said, it can be dicey about whatever you're going to eat. But if you eat a fresh meal, it'll taste better. It's going to be even healthier than the frozen option. And that's when that consideration, that middle of the funnel content can get really, really great about you explaining the benefits of your products or your services, the benefits of this. And it ties into this belief system that these people have. So during this, interest stage, this consideration stage, middle of the funnel, this is where we can shift their belief system. And you can share a different viewpoint to convince this person. Let's say we're going to try to go with this vegan food again. It becomes about developing content to focus on the benefits of your product so that you can override their old belief system. And it's possible to do this. It's possible to do this with a video series. It's possible to do this by using our vegan example, giving them a free trial of 3 meals. Let them see what it feels like to enjoy a fresh meal without having to really spend any money, but you can start to shift their belief system. Now, giving them this free trial does not mean that they have now purchased it, but they're getting even closer to considering your products or services. So you see how I'm using this to move them, and that's what we're trying to do. We want to, in the middle of the funnel, move them and shift them, and we ask ourselves, what does your ideal customer need to believe before they can become a paying customer? What does this person already believe? And what do you need to share to help them see a new belief system? So this is the opportunity. And that's why I think that this middle of the funnel is one of the most important pieces of your sales funnel, because this is the place where you are going to start and again, it's not a hard sell. It's about giving them valuable information. It's about explaining to them why their belief system is not valid and what are the benefits to your programs, your products, your services, or whatever it is that you're selling that is going to help them enter into a new belief system, which again will also lead them down that path even further into the bottom of the funnel. So the bottom of the funnel obviously corresponds to the decision. And to me, the decision and action right there on the both of them are kind of the same thing, because once you've made the decision, you generally will take action. So the bottom of the funnel is correlated to the decision stage. And when you're trying to actively close the sale and maybe upsell products or anything like that, this is the stage that you're going to help them make the decision to actually buy from you. So this is the place where we think about common objections. We put them in our sales pages. We put them in our email marketing. A lot of times you will see people when they're launching something or when they're selling something, one of the very last emails that you're going to get is like a whole list of FAQs. People are going to say, oh, I've had a whole bunch of people email me, so I'm going to send you the answers so that way I can, instead of responding to one person, I'm going to respond to all of you at once. And so you get, the frequently answered questions. This streamlines the process. This is how this works. If we go back to our vegan example, this would be the time when I could explain in my FAQs why fresh food is better, why it costs less. It's more, it's cheaper than going to the grocery store, why it's healthier for you. We could think about all of these things, and this would be one of these pieces of content that you would send through your email that would help close the deal, that would help somebody actually make the purchase. Because the bottom of this funnel is that place where they're ready to make the decision, they're ready to take the action, and this is where we are utilizing our content to get them to move, to take that action. And I also wanted to remind you that this is also the time that even if they've already made the decision and they're ready to buy, you also have the opportunity to increase your profits and revenue by thinking about things that you can upsell or you can cross-sell during this stage. All right. Now, one of the things I wanted to jump into, so I went through the whole sales funnel, the whole point about how it works, why it's so super important for you. But I wanted to touch on this too. And for those of you who've been with me, you've probably heard me talk about creative problem solving, but I do feel like it's a really important part because a lot of these things that happen, and we can look at a sales funnel and we can look at all of this stuff and we can say, that makes sense to me. And I totally get that. And I understand how this works, but I have no idea what to do. I have no idea what to put into my sales funnel. I have no idea how to do this. And so it doesn't help us for you to understand a sales funnel without knowing what to put in it. So what I wanted to do here is I did want to touch on some ideas about how you can do some creative problem solving, some brainstorming techniques to help you start to think about what ideas that you can use to put into your funnel. And I wanted to bring this up before we got into the real specific content ideas and the content that you will be creating, because I think that this is a good tie-in and to help you move through this process a lot easier. So we think about creative problem solving. It really comes down to a lot of this. People go into that research version of autopilot. You're just searching for answers, listening to people on social media, telling you what you think you want to hear. And it just kind of endless loop over and over and over again. And what ends up happening is nothing gets done because all you're doing is researching and you're looking and you're thinking about all of these things and nothing ever gets done. So I want you to stop this endless loop and to think about how you can utilize some of these creative problem solving techniques to help you come up with the content or that's going to go into your sales funnel. I want you to think about how you're going to share the solutions with your content and sales funnel development. Because being a creative problem solver is going to disrupt that endless loop of research, because all what we're doing is we're doing this endless loop of research is we are looking to see what everybody else is doing. And I want to disrupt that. I want you to not just imitate, I want you to innovate. I want you to think about everyone's doing it this way pattern. I want you to stop and I want you to think about a fresh perspective about how you can effectively look towards the opportunities and create this sales funnel that's going to be very customized. It's going to be true to who you are in your business and how you connect yourself with your community. So your creative problem solving skills are just like a little framework. And I'm just going to give you some ideas and some exercises that you can do. And this is not going to cost you any money. You don't have to buy anything. It's just going to take a little bit of your time to actually sit down and spend some time in your creative brainstorming, is I guess the way I could say it. So we think about creative problem solving. The first thing we want to do is we want to start framing our content development in open-ended questions. Open-ended questions are the ones that don't end with a yes or a no, because those just give us limited options. We want to look at multiple opportunities. We want to look about multiple possibilities. And so we use open-ended questions. And what I mean by open-ended questions are, why is this going on? What if I was to do this? How could I create this? Where else am I seeing this? Those are open-ended questions. Not one of those questions that I just asked would come up with an answer of a yes or a no. There is going to be more questions. There is going to be more of a conversation, whether you're having this with yourself, whether you're having this with your accountability partner, whether in your mastermind group or wherever it is, and see where that path takes you. But use open-ended questions to start thinking through the content that's in your sales funnel. It's going to be huge help for you. And another thing I want you to think about doing, and this is huge too. And again, this is interesting. I had this conversation, it was just the other day with a client call. Suspend your judgment, because I had made the suggestion to her and she immediately withdrew. Nope, it's not me. Nope, it's not me. And I had to have this conversation with her. I said, don't make a quick judgment about this. Like, I can't do that thing. That's not me. That's not me on video. That's not me doing all this. No. Because I told her, I said, you are just going to shut this down. We haven't even had time to talk through this, and you immediately shut me down. Why don't you just listen? And why don't you suspend your judgment and let's talk this through? Because what's going to happen is this, and this is true with all type of content, all type of marketing. These initial ideas, they come to us in like a raw first draft form. They need time to grow and develop into what could be, like one of your biggest promotions. This could be something really huge for you that if you had not shut that thing down and let us talk about it. And it was interesting because once I got her to stop, fighting me, and I just said, "Just hear me out." And the more I talked, the more open she became. And then she started to participate in it. And she started giving me those open-ended questions. How could we do this? What if we did this? And so that original idea that I started with turned into, believe it or not, a whole program for her. And then we just realized that we were doing a soft launch instead of a hard launch. And it turned the whole thing upside down about what we were working on. So I want you to think about suspending your judgment when it comes to thinking through the content that you're going to put in your sales funnel. Don't let your fears or anxiety about your ideas invalidate it. I mean, they popped into your head for a reason. Is there a piece of this idea that you can turn into a marketing plan? I want you to catch yourself when you immediately look for ways to find fault with an idea. Because what would happen if you just tried out a piece of this idea? If you spent 15 minutes testing out an app, it's only 15 minutes of your time. And quite possibly this could be one of those amazing programs or products or promotions that if you just dismissed it, you would never have the opportunity to see how it works with your business. So I wanted to remind you of this, that this thought came to you for a reason. What's the message that is trying to send you about what you should be doing? And the last thing that you want to do with creative problem solving is use the words yes and. Yes and is something that comes from the improv comedy, where it's basically this opportunity that no matter what comes up in the conversation, you say yes and instead of starting your response with the word but. Because when you use the word but into the conversation, you negate everything that came before it. So I really, really want to do this, but I really like the idea of doing the soft launch instead of a hard launch. But so no matter what you're feeling inside, your job is to keep using the words yes and. Because when you use those words yes and, that is another one of those moments where you are going to continue exploring opportunities and all of these paths. Let me give you a couple of examples, because if you've never done this before, you will see how this works. And I'm going to leave this up on screen, and I want you to say this. And if you can say this to yourself, especially I've always told my clients to say this to yourself out loud. I've never done a content strategy. I don't even know where to start. Yes, and I can always talk to my friend to get her help. She's been in business for years, and it's probably full of suggestions. See the difference there? What if none of my products sell? Yes, and I'll be okay. I'll be proud of myself for even taking the risk and trying something new. How different that is if I said, what if my products sell? But it was a waste of time, but it wasn't working for me, but this just didn't work. This isn't right for me. What a difference if it's like, yes, I'll be proud of myself for taking the risk and trying something new. So think about these creative problem solving skills that I just shared with you as you're moving through this process of developing your own sales funnel, and see how it feels. Using yes and using those open-ended questions, suspending your judgment, and moving through this process with the idea that you're being open to this flow of unique ideas. And I always say that when you are doing something like this, keep a notebook or the app open or something like that so you can document anything that comes up during these problem solving exercises, because something will come up, something new. And again, it's going to come up in raw form. So let it come up, let it come to the surface, and investigate it and see where you are with that and move through the process. The original idea may not even be the one that you go with, but that original idea could spark another one, could spark another one, could spark another one, and that could take you to the one thing that you are looking for. So don't negate any of these creative problem solving exercises, because I do think that they're going to be a huge help for you when it comes to developing your sales funnel. Speaking of help, I am doing a summer special for 60-minute sessions, only 147. So if you are interested in working one-on-one with me, all of these sessions just need to be completed by August 30th because it's just a summer special. So I've got 5 spaces available. So if you do want to work with me, there is a link right here, bit.ly/create biz strategy, and you can get one of the available spaces. All right, let's get into this now. Let's talk about setting up your sales funnel. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of how this thing works. Okay. So basically your funnel, as I explained to you before, is just like the customer buyer's journey, where we start with the awareness that your business exists. We move them through the funnel of consideration where that content narrows down who they're interested in. And then we want them to take more steps, and then we actually get them to make the decision to buy. So our sales funnel is going to be set up like that. And it's going to be very specific. So there's going to be a lot of times when I'm going to repeat types of content, but it's the way that we use this content that's going to make it different for each of the places in the funnel. So again, we're going to look at the 3 types of the content. We're going to do the top of the funnel, which is the awareness, the middle of the funnel, which is consideration, and the bottom of the funnel, which is that decision. So I want to break it down into each one of the content ideas. And I also want to talk about what I called it distribution, but how we're going to share this type of content online. It's going to be different for each one of these and how we use it. So take that into consideration. So let's talk about the top of the funnel. That top of the funnel is the awareness stage. This is that place where we're sending traffic to our site. We're talking about how we're going to solve their problem. We're going to fill a need. We're going to understand their challenges. Our top of the funnel could also be entertaining or inspirational. It is something what we're going to be doing to get them to stop scrolling and to read our posts. This is super important because we want to make them aware of our business, aware that our business is a possible solution to their challenges. So when we think about this area, this is not the space for hard sell. This is not the place where we're trying to close somebody. It's about awareness and introducing our business to all of these people that are out there when we cast a very wide net. So one of the best things that you can do with your top of the funnel awareness stage content, that was hard to say, top of the funnel awareness stage content, blog posts. Now I get it. Blog posts is a lot of work. And I have had a blog for years. And then for years I stopped. And I wished I hadn't stopped because I know it just takes a lot of work. And I started back up again this year. And I'm very happy that I did, because actually I'm only doing 1 post a month. And that's about as much as I can do. But that 1 post a month is doing so much to drive traffic to my website. It's helping me because I am in Pinterest. Like I've always been in Pinterest. I always use Pinterest to help me grow my email list. The additional blog posts now are giving me more content to share on Pinterest and giving people more of a reason other than a hard sell, to download something, to get on my email list. I find that more people will click on a blog post to come to my website from Pinterest or from Google or wherever the search engine is than me just, trying to give them a free download. So blog posts are a really, really great opportunity for you to do all that top of the funnel awareness. And blog posts are one thing, but there's also evergreen. Now, evergreen articles are something that's going to be relevant in a few months or a few years. And so we look at our evergreen content. Our evergreen content is going to be another huge opportunity for that top of the funnel awareness stage as well. And I brought this up here and I put the little note to remind me to say that if you think about this, there's a really good chance that you have most likely landed on another company's evergreen content article page. Think about the last time that you were in a search engine and you were typing a question and it gave you this link to something. And you're reading it and you're thinking to yourself, okay, there's the answer to my question. And then you happen to look in the top corner and you happen to see that this was written in like 2018 or 2019. And you're like, wow, I just ran a search on Google and this came up as one of my answers. What an amazing piece of content. If it was back in 2018, 2019, when somebody is still seeing the benefits and seeing traffic driving to it. So evergreen content is really amazing stuff. And of course it's going to, just like a blog post, we want to make sure that the content is going to be continue to be relevant. So we don't want anything that's trending. We don't want anything if we've got data in it, it might be something that we need to update on a frequent basis. We don't want to be in that space right there. We want it to just kind of be an evergreen, that it's answering the questions and we can just leave it and let it go. So when we're thinking about evergreen content obviously is blog posts, but evergreen content can also be video episodes. Evergreen content can be checklists, how-to guides. Evergreen content could be case studies where we could talk about, here's the solution, here's the problem that you're having. Here's a customer that I worked with and how they solved it. And then you can, come up with the solution of it. It's evergreen because there's still a problem. The customer is still the customer. You still solve the problem. So it's still evergreen content. So I want you to think about it too. So evergreen is not just about blog posts, even though it tends to move into blog posts more than normal, but you can do videos, you can do how-to guides, you can do these kinds of case studies. These are really, really great opportunities to create evergreen content that will hopefully show up more frequently in an SEO search. Another opportunity for the top of the funnel awareness is those free downloads, free ebooks, all of that valuable information. And everybody always says to me, and I wouldn't say everybody, I do get these comments going, well, if I give you all this information, I know what it was. It was last month on our group call that we do, where somebody had said something to me about, well, are you sure I should be creating this ebook? Because aren't I just giving away all my valuable information? And I said to her, it's funny that you asked me that because there's this weird thing. It's called Google. And if we all want to find something information, we'll just Google it and we'll learn it and we'll figure it out on our own. But wouldn't it be better that if I Googled it or if I was following you and you shared this information with me and I knew that you gave me the information and so now you become a trusted resource? So if we're thinking about the, a free download or an ebook in that sense of it, I still believe in this valuable content. Because it's not about giving away every last bit of your company secret so that nobody wants to hire you. That's not what we're doing here. What we're doing here is most likely after reading the free ebook, they could decide that they don't want to do it on their own. And they're going to move through your funnel even more to pay you for your time or to buy one of your products. And that's really what it's about. It's about giving them just enough information so that they know that you are a valuable resource for them, that you can be trusted, and that they feel very confident about moving forward with working with you because you have given them this much information to begin with. So that when we think about free downloads or ebooks or something along those lines, that's where we come from. We come from that space and we think about it from there. So how do we share this online? How are we going to distribute this? Obviously, organic search is one of your best opportunities. And when I say organic search, it's not just about Google. I can honestly tell you that's been the last 2 years. The last 2 years, I have found myself pulling back more and more from social media because of dealing with the algorithms, because of dealing with the changes, because of every time you think you've got something figured out, they go and they change it again. What I'm doing is I am moving more into SEO-based content. And when I am looking at SEO-based content, I am obviously doing blog posts so that I can get found on Google. But I'm also looking at SEO-based content by growing my YouTube channel because YouTube is a search engine. I'm also growing my content and growing my presence on Pinterest because Pinterest is a search engine. And I look to it then from that perspective of I think about how we as customers go about our buying journey. One of the first things that we all do is we go online and we search. We might be searching and actually, you know what? And TikTok is another search engine as well. So that's another opportunity for you. So even though TikTok is still social media, it is a search engine. So we want to think about it from that perspective. If we think about our buyers and how they are functioning, they're going online and they're looking for information. whether they're using YouTube, whether they're using Google, whether they're using TikTok, whether they're using Pinterest, they are going places and looking for information. So it is our job as business owners and to create this funnel to show up in those places and spaces. So I want you to think about using SEO search opportunities as a great place for you to share all of this content. Obviously, social media marketing is going to be huge for the awareness area. Like I said, I personally have been pulling back from it, but that's just me and my decision and my business. I'm not telling you how to do your business, because you can share on platforms like Instagram and TikTok and LinkedIn and Facebook and all of those places that are out there. Email marketing, reaching out to people who have subscribed to your email list, paid ads, putting ads on digital ads, not just your social platforms, but you can do Google ads as well. Those are also great opportunities for you to do the awareness stage. Influencer marketing. Influencer marketing is a great opportunity too, especially if there are relevant influencers that you can connect with to help you promote your content. That is another great opportunity and another way for you to distribute this awareness content of yours. So let's talk about the middle, which is that consideration stage. And I've shared with you earlier when I went through the whole belief system, I really feel like that middle section is one that we should be spending more time with. And sometimes I think that most people, most business owners, are spending a lot of time on this awareness stuff, casting a great big net, trying to get a whole bunch of people in there. And I'm not saying you shouldn't, but then they don't look at the consideration and they just think that if I get you in the top of it, I can just push you all the way down and you're going to buy. I really feel like that consideration, that middle section, is that place for us to really get them to understand who we are in our business and how we are different and we're unique, and what we do is different than another coach or another product or another program. This is that space, that middle section of the funnel, that consideration stage, because they know about their pain points, they know about their challenges, and this is the content that's going to tell them, I know your pain points and I know your challenges, and I'm going to show you why I'm an expert, why I have this knowledge, why I have this valuable resources here for you. This is why you should be working with me. This is why you should consider working with me. And so the content that we use in the middle of the funnel are downloadable resources. Now, I know I said this for the awareness and the top of the funnel, but the type of downloadable resources, those free ebooks, those free types of things are going to be much more of an awareness type of thing. But when we get to the middle of the funnel, so let's say that what we've done is we've captured the lead, we've got them in our email, and now what we're going to do is we're going to send them an email sequence, which is going to give them a checklist. It's going to give them a template. And then it might even give them a more strategic workbook than the one that they originally downloaded, because this strategic workbook now says, okay, I see your problem. I see your challenge. I know where you are. I can help you with this. And here's how I'm going to help you. Let me give you this checklist. Let me give you this template of how to set up your, I don't know, your accounting system or whatever it is that you do. These resources, they help you grow your email list, but they also are connected to things like blog posts, your content upgrades. You'll find these particular ones on prime real estate on your site, your pop-ups, in the corner of your email, the corner of your website that's always there, down that right side sidebar. That's the word I was looking for. So these are going to be a little bit more specific to the challenge, specific to the pain point with a specific answer, versus the awareness being a much more broader type of thing. So when we think about this, these are going to be a really great tool, but we're going to have them be more directly connected to that challenge and that problem than we're going to see in the awareness type of things. So we look at stuff like how-to guides, tutorials, give them a specific goal. Like a how-to guide, this could be a great place for a video series. We could email them and say, so you've got this issue that you're dealing with. I've got this great video series that I want to share with you. and only the people on the email list are seeing the video series. So the video series is going to take them through a bunch of steps. They're going to, whatever the goal is that you're trying to get to. And when at the very end of it, it makes it even better for them to trust you. It makes them even better for them to move through that whole process so that they get to that place of making the final decision. Another thing you can use are product overviews. This is the thing that talks about the product features, but I also want to make sure that in this product feature, this product overview, that you talk about the benefits. So it's basically saying, here's this amazing product. It does this, it does this, it does this, and what's in it for you. You always want to make sure in that product overview, it's not just about, my company started 20 years ago. This product has been around for 10 years. This product, only costs $14.99. These are all features of the product. The benefits of the product is it's a trustworthy product because it's been around for 10 years, so it's going to work. I have been in business now for 20 years, so I'm not going anywhere. If I was here 20 years ago, I'm still here now. This is a benefit to you. So if you have any problems, if you wanted to have any issues, I'm still going to be here to answer your questions. It's all about what's in it for the customers, because again, we are trying to get to that place with them where we're saying, I want you to consider buying from me. Case studies. Now, I talked about case studies for the awareness, but this case study becomes more data driven. It becomes more connected to a customer's success, because before I was like, here's the problem, here's the success story, here was the solution. Now, a case study in this perspective would be more about, here's your problem. Here's some data. Let me give you the before she'd use this program. Here's her analytics. Now, after she did this program, here's her analytics. Look at that huge increase in traffic that that this product drove to her website. It becomes more detailed like that, more data driven than just telling the story of the case study, because by this point, they're very aware of your business. They know who you are. They understand their pain points. Now, what you're doing with this particular case study, this particular piece of content, is showing them how they can see themselves and their business in what your case study is showing them. Is that my business? Is my business need that traffic? Does my business need that type of program? Let me see what this other customer went through. That makes sense for me. I want it. That's the point behind this case study versus the other one. So when we're talking about, the middle of the funnel, we've also talking about things like landing page. Landing pages when we can get people to do specific actions, like sign up for the email sequence with the video series, sign up for a workshop, sign up for, all those types of things. These are really great landing pages. Those are middle of the funnel content. And success stories. Success stories are different than case studies, because case studies are more about us kind of analyzing what worked and what didn't work. Whereas a success story is just about, let me just show you these 3 customers who had so much success with this product and how they were able to increase their website traffic. That's what we're talking about here. And obviously customer reviews are going to be huge for middle of the sales funnel content. Any kind of positive testimonials that you can get from any of your customers so that others can see themselves in it is going to be really fantastic for you to use. Distribution. We're back to SEO again. SEO is always going to be your best friend. I cannot stress this enough, that if you are not looking into SEO type of distribution for your content, that maybe you should look into at least one of the programs. If it's not Google, writing a blog post for Google, being on YouTube, being on TikTok, being on Pinterest, just looking to one of these programs to help you with SEO reach and to do more than just relying on social media. And what did we go all the way back to that hope strategy? So social media marketing is also good for this because it's going to help you with your lead generations. But what we're looking towards with the social media marketing in the middle of the funnel, these are people who are already connected to you. These are people who are already following you. These are people who are probably in your community. Maybe you run a Facebook group, they're in your Facebook group. Maybe they're just your connections that you see all the time on LinkedIn and that you comment on their post, they comment on your post. You are connected to them in some form, shape, or something. So we want to look at this from that perspective. So it's not about the awareness and drawing that wide net like we did for the top of the funnel. These are the people on social media that are already engaging with you. And so it's about thinking about ways that you can increase that engagement with them on social media. Email marketing. Email marketing is huge for that middle of the sales funnel because now they've subscribed to your email updates. They are in it with you. They are a part of your community. And so this is that really great place where you can offer them just for my list. My list is the only people who are going to get to see this special son I'm doing this summer, or something like those. This makes them feel like they're in a selected group of people who are going to see some amazing information, to be the first people to see it, the only people to see it. So all those people who subscribe to your email updates, this is a really great space for that middle of the funnel type of content. And obviously paid ads. Paid ads are really great as well too. And we can use these paid ads as a way to push people into the funnel. And this is what we're looking at with these types of paid ads. The paid ads for the awareness section are more about brand awareness, maybe to get them on your email list, those types of things. But the paid ads in the consideration stage are going to be much more targeted. And there's a way that depending upon each one of the platforms that you're on, whether it's Google or social media platform, there are ways that you can target. There are ways that you can target your demographic. There's ways that you can target all the way down to income, education, all of those types of things. And this is the paid ads that you would really, really define, not just define, refine that target who you're talking to. And those are the ones that are going to be getting these types of ads versus, trying to draw that big net. And so we think about that and we move through the bottom of the funnel. So we've talked about all of this stuff. In this section, the very, very bottom, is when we get into our selling points. This is when we start doing that hard sell. And I utilize the phrase psychological sales tactics. I know that sounds really horrible. I just realized as I said that out loud, I was like, wow, that sounds bad. But it's really a major piece of this part of the program. Like this, creating a sense of urgency. Don't delay your purpose. Don't delay your purchase. There's low levels, limited time deals, time sensitive deadlines. We've all seen it. How many of us have gone, oh, wow, there's only a week left. This is the last 24 hours of me to do this. And we end up buying from it. There's something about psychologically that sense of urgency that we can all be a part of and that we've all experienced. And we probably all have clicked that buy here button because of it. This works. This is that point. We don't do this at the top of the funnel. We do this at the very, very bottom because at this point, they're aware of our company. They are aware of our business. By this point, we are in consideration as one of their options. And so if we know that they're one of their options, we're at the point right now at the bottom of the funnel where we want to be the option. We want you to buy. That's it. End of story. Take action. This is where we are right now. Another thing that you can utilize at the bottom of the sales funnel is leveraging what I call social proof. When you think about the actions and opinions of the others, I have seen this like dozens and dozens of times where people will be on a social platform and they'll be doing something. And so then they kind of cut and paste, people saying things or people mentioning them or people highlighting them. And you've probably all seen it too, where you'll see somebody's sales page or you'll see somebody's landing page or even that email where you can see all of these people said all of these amazing things, that kind of stuff. And we all were like, wow, all of those people said all of those amazing things. It must be amazing. Whether you think this is, a psychological sales tactic, it is, and it works. So this is one of the things that works. So if you find yourself, out there on social media and you're creating programs and you're getting people tagging you, get screenshots. copy that stuff. Make copies of it, screenshot it, save it, turn it into some type of sales tool, because this is a great way, because a lot of us want to see what other people are saying. We like to see that there other people are out there who are doing something, the same thing that we are. We're small business owners. We want to see other small business owners participating in this program and what they have to say about it. It means a lot to us to get those kinds of social proof um, reviews. It provides trust, and it helps us feel comfortable with making that decision to purchase something. So obviously a call to action is another thing we're going to use. Start your free trial, sign up for a discovery call. And that is a big thing that I catch all the time, is that a lot of times people will set up their sales pages, or set up even their posts or their content. And I'm like, what do you want me to do? Well, I want you to sign up. I want you to pay. I want you to start your free trial. You have to tell me that. You have to tell me that, because I am looking at, 20,000 things all day long. I need you to tell me what you want me to do. So always remember to put some type of call to action. Even if you think it's pretty darn clear that they should start their free trial or sign up to the discovery call, doesn't matter. Say it anyway. Because the more you say it, the more it gets into my head that I need to start my free trial, that I need to sign up for the discovery call, that I need to do this, I need to buy here, I need to get, whatever it is that I'm going to do. So make sure you put that call to action in there to tell me what to do next, because you think that I know, but I would really rather you just tell me to make sure that I do know. So obviously landing pages. You could set up your landing page to actually create the place where they're making that purchase. There's a lot of landing pages out there that will connect right into a payment program. And so that you can just have them go right to that landing page and buy right from there, instead of having to scroll through an enormously large sales page. Success stories. Success stories are the same with everything else. Content about customer success gives them confidence. Mostly the success stories seem to show up and do really, really well on sales pages and on emails. That email funnel that I was talking about, trying to get somebody to close, you want to, let's hear about what Mary had to say, Mary's experience. And Mary said this, and Mary felt like this. And now Mary's doing this. Here's some, screenshots from her website program, or whatever it is that you're doing. Those types of success stories, as well as customer reviews, are a huge help, because it allows us to know that there are other people out there, other businesses out there like ourselves, who have taken that opportunity to make that purchase, and this is their results. And it makes us feel good knowing that other people have been successful with this program. So those are two huge things. And obviously, one of the biggest things is the promotions. This is the hard sell. This is that place and space for a promotion. We run an e-commerce site. The product pages are your bottom of the funnel content. That's that place where within seconds I can just click a button and I've bought something. That is huge. We want it to be that simple. We want it to be that easy. Tell me what you want me to do. Click here, buy this, order. What's the quantity you want to order? Make it that simple. But promotions are always going to be one of those places, because we're always looking for a deal. We're always looking for an opportunity to make us feel good about the purchase that we made, especially if we get an opportunity to get a deal and a promotion and a coupon code or something like that. That helps us feel like we have been able to, well, I'm going to try this out. So it makes me feel good that I've just now saved 50% on something like that, I was thinking about trying it out, but now that I can save 50%, I really want to try it out. And then of course there's shoppable social media posts. This is those posts that when they pop up, that you can add to cart immediately, and it goes right from the post, and they don't have to take a whole lot of steps to make this kind of purchase. Those are really, really great to do. And if you know how to set those up, those are a really good opportunity for you to hit that decision stage of the funnel. Email marketing. So if you are successful in capturing those leads in the middle of the funnel, you are now in such a good place that you can reach out to your community, your email community, and let them know if something's going on. You can send a promotional email with a coupon code or a limited time offer. Make it easy for them with this simple coupon code. Again, like I was saying, I was thinking about buying, but now that with this coupon code, I can get 50% off. I'm totally buying now. You got me, not that I was waiting on a discount, but now that I get a discount, I'm all over it. It's like that kind of thing. And so now I feel good about my purchase. I want to do this. I'm not questioning whether I should have paid for this or not. Whoops. Where do we go? I think I lost my stuff. Yep, here we are. Okay. We want to think about it from this perspective too. The decision stage is that last space, that final push to tell them. So if you need to do something, and I don't know what your businesses are, what your products, what your services are. Some people do live demos, some people do free trials. This could be an incentive to help people become paying customers. Again, not sure, it doesn't always work, live demos and free trials don't always work for everybody's business, but the idea of that sales funnel, the last piece of the sales funnel, the decision part, the bottom of the funnel, is this place and this space to get people to take action. And so the places where we're going to go for distribution, email marketing, huge. And so when let me add one more piece to this. If you are not doing email marketing, I really highly recommend that you take a step back and take a look at your business and think about how you can start incorporating some email marketing in there. Because contrary to anybody else's opinion, I don't think that email marketing is dead. I think that email marketing is huge. It is better for your business than social media marketing. So that being said, I think that email marketing is one of the best places and spaces for you at the bottom of the funnel to create an email sequence, to give them information, to help them think about how they want to make that purchase, and to get them over into that place where they're just going to click that buy here button. Paid ads are good, but I think that paid ads, these are the ones that I'm referring to that you can purchase right from it. These paid ads are more for a low end type of product. If you are talking about a service that costs thousands of dollars, a paid ad through a social site is not going to get somebody to sign up. But if you are selling something that's $20 for a book or something like that, you'll have a greater chance of getting more people to purchase through a paid ad with a lower end product versus a higher end product. With a higher end product, they need more from you. They need to learn more trust. They need to learn more about your business. They need to move through that whole funnel. They need to go through the whole awareness consideration to get down there to make that decision for a higher end product versus something like $20. So paid ads are good for lower end products, but I would not recommend them for a higher end product. And obviously we're going to go back to our SEO marketing, thinking about keywords, searchable topics. I think that the SEO marketing on this part of the funnel is more about that, that marketing, that I'm trying to think of the word, not comfort, the marketing that's after they've found you and it's the company's kinds of follows you online type of stuff. It's that reinforcement. That was the word I was looking for. Reinforcement. I knew the word was in my head. It wasn't coming out of my mouth. Reinforcement of your business, reinforcement of this opportunity, kind of reminding you, kind of like when you started a cart and you've not signed off and you keep getting these messages going, there's stuff in your cart. Don't you want to buy it? There's stuff in your cart. Did you want to buy? Like that kind of thing. SEO marketing at this point of it is kind of like that, kind of like the reinforcement and reminders of it versus just where it was at the very beginning, getting people aware of your business. And so wrapping this up here, the final step of the funnel development is I want you to think about it from that perspective of continuing to create content and paying attention to these different parts, paying attention to, you could use an ebook for all of these different levels, but how would you use that ebook? What would be the value in the ebook, the content in the ebook, and what is its intention and purpose? So I want you to think about it from that perspective. So when we're creating this content, it's about thinking about these different parts of the sales funnel. It's about also, as you're moving through the funnel and you've got this thing set up, looking at your analytics, looking at your numbers, revising your strategy if you are figuring out what's working and what doesn't. And you can create this content. And when you create this content, I don't want to say it's a set it and forget it, because it's not. But once that sales funnel gets into place, it does work most of the work for you. It's just getting it into place. And that's why I really wanted to dig into each one of these types of content versus just talking about the different pieces of the funnel. And I get it. If you've never done anything like this before, it's just not going to happen overnight. You are not going to snap your fingers and go, sales funnel in place. And I get it. It's a little bit time consuming. But when it is done right, when this is in place, and when you are really looking at how you are moving these people through that buyer's journey, through the awareness, through the consideration, through the decision, the top of the funnel, the middle of the funnel, the bottom of the funnel, this is one of the greatest things that you will ever do for your business, because it's also going to help you see how you're talking to customers and how they are relating back to you. And are you really here to help them solve their problems and to solve their challenges, and that you are the solution to their problem? So think about it from that perspective. All right. I know I've got a couple people on here. I don't know if anybody has any questions for me, any thoughts, because I'm not seeing anything in the chat come up. But I wanted to remind you that if you need some help with your sales funnel development and you'd like to have a conversation with me about this to help you work through this, I am doing a summer special for $147 for a 60-minute Zoom session. So there's a link right there below, bit.ly/create biz strategy. And you can find that right there and buy right from that landing page. Look at that. I did it. I did my own thing. I don't see any questions. So I think we're good. I am going to close this thing out and say what I always say. Thank you so much for joining me on this workshop today. And as I always say in all of my videos and everything else, you are magnificent, my friend. And let me be the first to say, I'm proud of you. Until next time. Thank you so much.